We're live. We're live again on Friday. Made it through the week. Hopefully it was good. Hopefully you all had a great week. We got some, we're talking about some drama today. We're drama. We are drama streamers. No. Don't you worry, we're not that. We ain't that. We're a lot of things, but we're not that. But we will talk about it. Only for a little bit, because the main thing I want to do today. Also, I have a freaking canker right on my tongue. So I feel like I'm slurring my words extra badly. Because it's hurting when I speak. So probably won't be live too long today. But what I was going to say is the main thing I want to do is friggin' I want to watch a video. We got to talk about some of this drama because it was kind of funny. So let's get an eye on some of this drama. I'll lay it out for you first. In America, a lot of things, they come down to politics. Am I right? And a lot of it is a lot of fighting on... People fight each other when they have the same... At the end of the day, they have the same goal, kind of, but they just have differences in how they want to get there, right? And I think it's kind of what this scenario is in itself that we're talking about today with Los Pollos, a streamer, and Ludwig Ogren, another streamer. And to be upfront, I am a big Ludwig fan, but I will be impartial, or try to be at least. You could call me a Ludwiger, if you will. But Los Pollos, I wasn't sure if I knew who he was, and then I remembered I have seen him before. I didn't realize he was a streamer, actually. I mean, I must have, like, in passing, like, understood that, but I think I just seen him and his dad on TikTok, I believe. That was my interaction with Pollos, Los Pollos. Which I think it's Los Pollos, right? I've heard some people call it Los Polos. But I assume he's saying the chickens in Spanish, Los Pollos. But so, should I pause the music or let me just cut the volume down a little bit more? I guess we can just pause it. Pause the tunes. We're getting serious. So, Los Pollos, he made a tweet, right? After the shooting of, what is his name? Alex, I believe it's Preddy, the gentleman up in Minnesota. I hear people say Preddy, but it's spelled like pretty with an I. But I've heard people say it Preddy. So we're going to go with Preddy. Mr. Alex Preddy was shot dead by the ICE, the DHS. Two separate departments. Actually, I think it was they were saying it was a DHS agent, and then they were saying it was an ICE agent. I'm not quite sure. But either way, that's kind of irrelevant to the situation. This is a little bit of backstory. So Los Pollos put out a tweet. And this is what it said. Take a quick look. Not that one. We want this one. He ended up deleting it, so this is just a screenshot. But this is what he says. He says, listen fucking carefully. Because this is fucking facts. If you don't want to get hurt, or anybody to get hurt, mind your fucking own business. If you disagree with anything in the country, you can peacefully protest anything you want. Even though you're wasting your precious time on this earth and it's annoying. It's not against the law to protest. It is against the law to interfere with literal federal agents, police, etc. You cannot fucking do that. I don't give a fuck how you feel about ICE. Do you want to get fucking hurt? Scroll up a little bit. Can y'all see that? A little more scan in action. Do you want to get fucking hurt? Nobody with a sane mind would drive a car into a federal agent's, run up on them, interfere, grab, push, shove, touch in any way whatsoever. Please listen. Stop listening to people on the internet lying to you, saying we are being invaded and it's Nazis and there aren't real cops or whatever. And these aren't real cops or whatever. Sorry, I'm a terrible reader. No, where were we? Or whatever. The fuck. Because those people are directly getting people killed. Fucking killed, by the way. No politicians either should be telling people that ICE needs to be abolished. You are just making more and more people that are slow think they need to go out and try to fight these people, that they are just trying to do their job. It doesn't matter how you feel about America. It doesn't matter how you feel. America voted for this. If you disagree, it's okay, but you cannot stop it. I do personally agree that the way this shit is happening with social media, how they were weird hype videos arresting illegal immigrants, fuck no, that shit is weird. But that doesn't change that the people voted for this. I don't want to see anybody get hurt the same way you shouldn't argue or fight with police if you're pulled over. Oh, in the same way as he's saying, if you're pulled over, you shouldn't fight the police either, etc. It's the same thing. The particular incident yesterday is tragic, but would never have happened if the guy didn't do what he did. Don't even put yourself in the position for there to be a fatal accident or mistake. These agents and cops, any law enforcement are fucking humans. They are people with families. They don't want to die either. If they feel threatened because they don't know what the fuck you're planning, you're chasing them, driving after them, running up on them, etc. You're putting yourself and them in a bad position. My bad. This isn't rocket fucking science. Leave these motherfuckers alone. Or you run the risk of getting hurt or worse. I don't know the or how. Okay, I don't know the or how people even got the idea that it's a good idea to interfere with law enforcement. Please just stop. Someone is bound to fuck up and make a mistake. Don't be in the position and you'll be okay. Now, with that being said, any political thing outside of that, I think what he was saying is not bad advice. Was he crass? Perhaps. Was he overly antagonistic with the things he was saying? Maybe. Did he state it most eloquently as a great orator? Probably not. But the substance of what he was saying, I don't think you could really disagree with, right? Oh, I'm not. Let me rephrase that. You can disagree with it, but I think you can understand it where he's coming from, right? The long and the short of it, from what I can comprehend from what he said in this tweet, is while he may not agree with the enforcement tactics of ICE or DHS, he also doesn't agree with the manner in which the protests are taking place, right? Like, we have the right, sometimes the duty, to peacefully protest, but interfering with a federal agent or any law enforcement, federal, county, local, what have you, is not the brightest idea, and is a just straight up bad idea and shouldn't be done for everyone's safety involved. But now if you want to just peacefully protest, that's another thing. But he uses a little more aggressive language, and seems like he was upset about it. And of course, that no matter the situation, well, there are some situations where you forfeit your life. But it looks very clear in this situation with the Alex Peretti character. He should not have been killed, right? And I think Los Pollos here, he's giving more direct advice than a universal advice. If that might sound kind of contradictory or kind of just like a dumb thing that I'm saying there. But if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Like, the advice you give to he's giving this advice to a group of people. Obviously, he has a following, and people are going to see this on social media, but it's more of a manner of how to operate individually, and then it works out as for the masses at the same time, right? Like, basically, don't interfere in a way that's going to damage you or the people that you care about, right? Even if you don't care about the agents, which I know a lot of people hate the agents, and ICE itself, DHS. But say that's true. Say everything's true, which a lot of it may has turned out to be true with the overstepping of certain agents. Why would you want to interact with that? There's always a better way, and I think that's what he's trying to say. If we're trying to be generous to him, right? There's always a better way. Find it and get your point across. I think is what he was saying, right? In my humble opinion. Now, but that's from my worldview, right? But now Ludwig, he tweeted, he says, telling people to bend over and submit is the least American thing you can do. Now that statement, and it's in a bubble, right? Perfect, right? That is the least American thing you could possibly do. We do not bend down. We do not submit, right? But now in conjunction with, this is his reply to that tweet. Los Pollos deleted the tweet, but Luds is still up. But in conjunction with reading that after, there's a bit of a disconnect. And now I don't want to put any words into Lud's mouth, but I know he is more of a, on the side of sort of the fuck ICE, fuck ICE, fuck DHS, all of that. And, well, I mean, I can be sympathetic with that. I can understand where people are coming from. I don't personally believe that. I believe in fuck some of the ways that they have gone about the things that they do. But I think it's, it's an agency that they're doing a job, but they might not be doing it very well, right? They might be going about it in the wrong way. But let's look at it from Lud's point of view here. He believes that there shouldn't be around, basically, and they are tyrannical and should be abolished. And I don't want to put that in his mouth, but I think we are safe to say that he's somewhere in that ballpark of thinking. So reading Los Pollos' tweet from that point of view, I could probably understand what he's saying here. He interpreted what he was saying as capitulate to the overstepping of this government agency and do not interact, is what he got from that, right? And then, there was some more this and that went along with that. And then Los Pollos, he actually ended up retracting his statement, which I don't think he should have done. I think while it was very strongly worded, I think it expressed what he wanted to express. And if people took it out of context or disagreed with it in a vehement way, that's okay. But I think he said what he wanted to say, so he should have left it up. But so he deletes the tweet, right? And then he goes and he does because he got a lot of there was a lot of people kind of giving him shit for this, because the creator space in general is a lot more liberal, if you will. And this they kind of saw this as a conservative take, basically a bootlicker, they called him, a bootlicker take. And I don't think Lud was calling him that. I just think he was saying, I think he might have misinterpreted what he was saying. And he said his point of view, which was, like I said, his statement in a vacuum is correct. Bending down and submitting as an American? Hell no. But I don't think that's what Los Pollos was trying to say. But he retracts it, and then he kind of goes and sends out some more tweets about roasting everybody. And then, so he drops this one about Lud. He says, "Who's next on the list?" At Ludwig Ogren. "Get back in your cuck chair in the corner, buddy. Stay the fuck out of the grown man's business. You're the fakest person I've ever seen grace the internet. I can't wait till someone tweets a clip of you treating a waiter like shit pussy," is what he says. And then Ludwig, honestly, he kind of boomed him here. This is all Lud tweets back. Cinema. That was pretty funny. And I think that's kind of more, like, Lud's a lot more of a lighthearted guy from my observation of him on the internet. And Los Pollos seems like a bit more of a hothead. So it kind of, they're both kind of fulfilling what people think of them in the what would you call it? In the zeitgeist, Is that the right word? But now, then Lud actually he talked about it on stream. Is it this one? Yes, I do believe this is the one. I'm getting these a lot from Twitter just because it was handy. But here Lud says,
here at Lowe's, we support you.
Can you all hear that? Oh, wait. Okay, good. This was the first thing that was not that we've been playing, so that's okay.
I think he has a very human feeling right now. I think.
So this was after.
Here at Lowe's,
yeah, see, this is after. Here, Lud pulled up the tweet, read it, and then this was his response to the tweet.
Support you.
Which already that's like funny again. He's adding humor to the situation, in my opinion. He's like, Poyos, we support you. In your hate.
I think he has a very human feeling right now. I think in life, when you see someone you don't like succeed, you kind of prey on their downfall. I think that's a pretty human thing. We've all preyed on people's downfalls before. But it took me a long time. It took me like 25 years probably. It probably took me maybe even 26, 7 years. It took me a long time to realize that is loser behavior. Losers prey on people's downfall. Winners try to become more successful than the people that they're preying on the downfall of. And I'll do everything in my power to be more successful than Los Polos till I die. And I think I'll do a good job of it. I'm here at Lowe's, we support you.
So that was Lud's response to his tweet, which, you know, it is what it is. I don't think he's out of line. I don't think he's saying anything crazy. But now let's take a peek. But I mean, after hearing that and then seeing how Los Pollos has responded, and it seems that he is a bit of a fiery man, you can imagine he had something to say back, right? He seems to kind of thrive in this situation. He may enjoy the drama a bit, if you will. And Los Pollos has this clip. Let's pull it up. Why is this in fucking? It says it's in 1080. Doesn't look like 1080, but here's Los Pollos' response to that. Okay.
You want to talk about spineless, bro? It's this guy right here, bro. Okay? And then why is your girlfriend trying to stick up for you?
Seems like an odd question to ask. If I had to guess why his girlfriend, Cutie Cinderella, that is sticking up for him, I would say because she likes the guy, perhaps. That would be my guess, Los Pollos. Like I said, I'm trying to be, unbiased, but you'll see Los Pollos, he kind of leaves himself open for a lot of jokes here. But I don't think he's a bad guy, okay? With that being said, let's continue.
Like, this is not beating the cuck allegations, bro. Okay?
So I don't know. That might be a thing online. I haven't personally heard that about Ludwig Ogren saying that his girlfriend is getting fucked on the side. I guess allegedly is what Pollos is claiming.
So again,
and that Ludwig enjoys it. I guess that's the cuck part of the situation. That he enjoys it.
You want to come at me? I'm not gonna sit there and just be like, "Oh no, guys, no, fuck that shit." Okay.
What were you saying there? I don't. He kind of started something and moved on, but that's all right.
Fuck that shit. Okay? You're not going to do it. You're not getting away with it. You don't own more land and more houses than me.
So I obviously pre-watched this, but this part had me cracking up a little bit. So it starts out with you don't own more land or houses than me. It was how he started.
Okay? You didn't buy every single person in your family and extended family and girlfriend a vehicle.
Okay, that's pretty cool too. Well, he's kind of flexing. He's saying, I got more land. I got more houses. I bought all my family and my girlfriend's family brand new cars. God damn it. So I'm better than you. But let's keep listening. Maybe I'm
Okay,
just
brand
being...
new. You've not donated the amount that I've donated to charities.
Getting flexing on him.
Okay, so, and you definitely do not have the love that I got.
Interesting. So, like I said, I didn't really, I'd seen Los Pollos before. You know, I didn't realize it until I looked at his face. I'm like, wait a minute, I have seen him. Because then I saw a picture of him next to his dad, I guess. Like, I've seen they make vines on TikTok and such, I believe.
You definitely don't have that. Because you've been getting shit on for being a fucking hypocrite and people calling.
Also, I apologize for the window not activated. I still haven't activated my windows in like 2 years.
You a cuck and all this shit. People troll with me, bro. You do, again, you see a clip of someone saying Tubster and then you get it twisted. You get it twisted, bro. So, buddy, you could never be more successful than me. It doesn't matter what you do or how hard you try, how long. Go ahead your whole life. You'll never be more successful than me because guess what, bro? My girl, she's not going around hanging out with dudes by herself, streaming with dudes, fucking you know.
Listen, lad, that's why you're not going to be more successful. Because this girl doesn't collab with other people, you hear me?
We've seen it, bro. Okay? We've seen it, bro. We've seen it. Okay? Yeah, my girl has no desire to go hang out with guys and go to their house and go in their car and shit. She doesn't have that, bro. So listen, be more successful. You'll never be more successful than me, bro. You could keep trying, man. Never, bro. This is unattainable for you. You've already lost it. You don't have a chance. And don't think for no reason I said I can't wait for that waiter clip to come out. Buddy, you don't think that Buddy, guys, you know how many streamers I talk to, bro?
How many? I'm curious. Los Puros, how many streamers do you talk to? Let me know.
Do you know how many people I talk to?
I don't know. Tell me. How many people do you talk to, brother?
You don't think I know shit, bro?
You're not gonna... You just asked me. I told you I didn't know. Freaking tell me.
I'll just say the word allegedly, bro. That's all I'm going to say. And let's leave it at that. You wanted to go further? We can go further. Okay? Don't come at me. I don't come back at you. Okay? You started this, bro. But keep on trucking, trying to be hard. I have literally more of everything than you have.
Now that's interesting, I thought. You know, he kind of harped on it a little bit here. Let's rewind a little bit. What was it right here?
You could keep trying, man. Never, bro. This is unattainable for you. You've already lost it. You don't have a chance.
So basically he's saying, Lud, you don't have a chance, brother. You ain't going to touch how successful Los Pollos is. And I was like, damn. Because like I said, I'm a Ludwiger, you know? So I was like, freaking Lud. I thought Lud was kind of successful. So I was like, holy frig, Los Pollos. I must be living under a rock, goddammit. So let's take a quick peek. Why don't we take a quick look? So I was curious, right? Los Pollos. Oh, this is what I do not want to talk about. Hassan Piker. Because he was going after Los Pollos as well. But I'll tell you, I hate Hassan as much as the next guy, okay? He's a whole nother talk for another friggin' year. But so, back to what I was trying to look up here. Los Pollos said, Lud's never going to touch his success. He's not going to come near it. And like I said, I was like, God damn. Los Pollos must have some motion, as they like to say. And so let's check it. Let's take a peek. Los Pollos, Los Plug, it would appear, 435,000 subscribers. That's damn good. I've under 300. Who am I to say anything, right? Well, I mean, he's got to have other channels, right? That's a lot, but you know, that's not that much, is it? Let's go to this. I think this wasn't his main channel. 435 subscribers. Maybe his videos just pop off. Subscribers, it's a dead metric, right? Let's take a look. Oh, he just uploaded 6.3K in an hour. Better than anything I've ever done. Let's take a look at popular. Okay, 1 million views. Reacting. Currently, we're reacting as well. Okay, so he hits the millions. He hits in the millions. Maybe he's got to have other channels bigger than this, all right? Let's take a look. 239. Maybe this was the small one. Is it this one? Oh, this is the main channel. 233. All right. Well, maybe I'm just kind of misremembering how big Lud is. Let's take a look at Lud's metrics here. And like I said, subscribers, that's a dead metric, right? Don't really matter. Interesting. So Lud, on his main channel, has 6.75 million subscribers. What did Los Pollos have? Right, no, this one 233 now, right? 239 now. 435. Huh, interesting. Well, maybe Lud doesn't get any views on his videos. Interesting. 6 million, 7 millions. All right, now I'm just being mean to Los Pollos. I'm just being mean. We get it, brother. You were upset. Where's my hair looking crazy? But I couldn't help myself. That was very funny. A little bit out of touch, right? He's talking about you will never get near my success. I got more money. I got more houses, cars, land, he says. You're never touching me, buddy. And then, I mean, what's that? Lid's over 10 times on YouTube. Hey, maybe Kick's very, I mean, I know Kick is quite lucrative. Maybe he does the gambling over on Kick. Maybe that's what Los Pollos does. But if you want to talk about success, brother, just be honest, you know. You're very successful. You'll probably be more successful than I'll ever be. But I think the same could be said about Ludwig and you know. As they say, you know, comparison is the thief of joy. But I guess that's kind of the gist of it all. That's all I really wanted to go into. When I saw his response, it was just too funny. I had to share it. Dag nabbit. And he has to be doing that for the content, right? Maybe he's a little bit out of touch, but he can't be that out of touch. He can't actually think he's in that same realm. You know. Let me think, actually. Let me look real quick. Is that all I had to say about it? I think so. But yeah, like I don't think Los Pollos is a bad dude. He just seems a little goofy, you know. Hey, and Ludwig, he's goofy as well. But folks, now we're done with the drama, all right? That was just a quick little recap, working on our dramas. Now let's get down to the meat and potatoes. All right. Let's switch some gosh darn gears. All right. Oh man. Oh yes. I'm excited for this one. So, I was scrolling on Instagram, which is my primary. Instagram is like that's my racism app, right? That's where I get all the racist memes, all the gore memes. That's where I get people getting hit by cars, freaking shot. That's Instagram. But I came across a little bit different, a little bit of a different reel, and it led me to something that I'd love to share with y'all. Okay. It's by a YouTube channel called, his name is Mitchell Sack. That's his name. Mitchell Sack. And he made a video. It actually came out in 2025. Now, in the title, you'll see this says the greatest video of 2026. Which date? It came out on December 5th, 2025. I think that will count. I think that should and will count for 2026. All right. It currently has 82,000 views, quite a few, but nothing crazy. And this is a video that should have a lot more than that. Let me tell you. The title of this video, the potential greatest video thus far of 2026, is called Hunted by a Genius Gorilla for Life. Now, the internet, they spawn questions in this similar fashion often, right? Recently, in reference to gorillas, could 100 men beat one gorilla? This one is actually in the same vein as another one. I think it's like, if you could live forever and have unlimited money, but you're chased by an immortal genius snail, would you do it? And it always knows where you are, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you've heard of it. This takes that premise and it ramps it up. So I guess I should just let friggin' Mitchell Sack take it away, right? Enough dilly-dallying. Let the man speak. Mitchell, take it away, brother.
$1 million every year, but first you had to survive. What if you could win $1 million every year?
Enough?
But first you had to survive a 24-hour hunt by a killer gorilla with
Rewind
genius
one more
IQ.
time.
The gorilla is a peak silverback, weighing over 500. $1 million every year, but first you had to survive a 24-hour hunt by a killer gorilla with genius IQ. The gorilla is a peak silverback, weighing over 500 pounds and with a 9-foot wingspan. But the real thing to fear is its intelligence. That's because this gorilla has the combined talents of all the most.
All right, so there's the premise, right? Would you take $1 million a year, but you have to survive a 24-hour period at a random time each year where you have to not be killed by a genius silverback gorilla?
Most exceptional and twisted minds ever known. It will come at you with the tactical knowledge of a Spetsnaz commando. It will recruit followers with the animal magnetism of cult leaders like Jim Jones or Manson. And it will wage war against you with the vendetta and long-term strategy of a terrorist leader. Even if you kill it, a new one comes back the next year, because when you take this deal, it's for the rest of your life. I became a...
What do we think? Personally, I think no. Honestly, I think it's a no. That's too much. And $1 million, that ain't. In about 10 years, that's gonna be friggin' 100,000. 20 years is gonna be friggin' $1,000.
obsessed with this scenario ever since I came across it on Reddit 6 months ago. So I made a super realistic simulation to see how it would play out. Starting now. I'm laying on my couch when the offer comes to me. The terms of the pact are seared into my mind with such clarity that I don't doubt their authenticity, not even for a second. Now, normally I'd wonder if I'm having a stroke, but something about the scenario tweaked my brain to make me take it as fact. The pact says, once each calendar year, you'll hear a siren in your head. The gorilla spawns 50 kilometers away from you, and for the next
All right, this is good. We gotta get more details before I fully say no.
24 hours, the hunt is on. If you kill the gorilla or 24 hours pass, gorilla disappears and you get your reward. The gorilla will never use guns. If you kill it,
Okay, now that's pretty good. Never use guns. Maybe I'm back in.
a different gorilla appears next year. Also, the gorilla always knows where you are.
Now that one, that's the tough one. The gorilla always knowing where you are, and it's a genius. That one could be the deal breaker. Like and spawning 50 miles, or I guess I don't know, spawning, because this is a thing I've thought about for like scary movies too. It's almost better to know where the monster is than not know, right? Like when you're just running away blindly and you lose sight of the monster, it's almost better to keep your eyes on the monster so you know where it's at. So the spawning near you, 50 kilometers, what's that? That's not that far. So that's actually pretty good. And then you can kind of predict, where it is. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Well, at that point, you could really set up some, as long as you survive that first year, get that first $1 million, you could survive. Although at the beginning, he was talking about how he's going to start recruiting people. Okay, let him talk. He's telling us the story.
Problems, so I accept. So laying on my couch with Deep Space Nine playing in the background, I hear my first siren. I knew I'd have to fight a gorilla, but I thought I at least have some time to prepare. I'm screwed. I'm sitting here on my ass, and now there's a killer gorilla out there working against me at this very moment. I need a gun. I pull out my phone and I start Googling.
Gun.
I live in Florida, which means that there's a 3-day waiting period for all firearms transactions.
What the hell?
Okay, so no trip to the gun
What the hell's going on with Florida here? That doesn't sound like the Florida I know. I'm not from Florida, but...
store. I send my fiancée Emily to a nearby hotel along with our cat.
Ooh, that would switch things up too, whether you're married or not and have kids.
I start running around the house in a panicked state, looking for weapons. Trembling with adrenaline and clutching a kitchen knife, I think of the one
Brother, the kitchen knife, that's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt him.
friend I have who owns guns, and I call him frantically. Chris, I say, I need you to come over right away. Bring your guns, I'll explain when you're here. I need something to pay him with for risking his life. I don't have a lot of cash on hand, but I'll either be dead or a millionaire by tomorrow, so I decide to give him my car. When he shows up, I'm a nervous wreck.
Okay.
I've pulled all...
I mean, hey, that's some good rationale at least. I'm either going out tonight or we're making $1 million, so.
the blinds shut, and I'm still holding the knife. I apologize for how this must seem, and I thrust my car title into his hands. We sit down to plan.
That's not a great buddy though. If he needs to have the car as a way to get over there when your buddy's freaking out.
And make a shopping list. We're going to fortify the house and plan an ambush, bait the trap with myself, and hope the gorilla gets close. Meanwhile, 50 kilometers away, the first gorilla spawned. It takes a moment to consider its mission and sets into action. Laying low, it follows the freeway to a gas station where
thing's
it lies
freaking
in
creepy.
wait next to the dumpsters. While waiting, it notices me running around my house because it always knows where I am. Soon, it knows my exact floor plan, intuited from my movements.
See, that's what I was telling y'all. The homing beacon that it has on you, it's going to get a lot of data, and considering this guy's freaking smart as hell.
Sees a man coming out and into his pickup truck. The gorilla is already waiting in the back
Oh,
seat.
geez. GG's for that guy.
It quickly kills him via cervical dislocation applied with surgical precision and takes his phone and wallet. Checking the man's ID, it has its next look.
Oh, that guy kind of looks like, honestly, not even kidding you. That's what I look like on my ID. I'm not going to pull it out right now, but maybe on another stream. I probably should. All right, let me go grab that real quick. I kid you not. This is when you see this, you're gonna be like, "Oh, there's him, same guy." Let me see if I can do this without doxing myself. You ready to see this? I gotta zoom in. Same guy, right? Too sick. Anyways, let's move on.
Location. As it drives back to the
I'm
man's
missing it.
house, sightings of a gorilla on the freeway are called in, but are dismissed as a man in a costume. At the victim's home, the gorilla lets itself inside.
Sorry about that.
Fortunately, the man lives alone, except for his 2 dogs. The gorilla gets himself into the man's phone, and within minutes, he's stolen the man's identity.
Freaking poor dogs. Their owner got killed by this dumbass. I mean, it's a genius gorilla, sorry. But
And transferred his money into an anonymous cryptocurrency wallet. The gorilla ransacks the house for weapons, ultimately fashioning napalm bombs from household chemicals. Content with its arsenal, the gorilla sets up an improvised film studio and begins recording.
filming? What are
He
you
knows
filming?
24 hours a year won't be enough to end my life.
All right, this is where that genius, that nasty genius starts coming in. All right. Good call, good call.
So he creates a series of propaganda videos, positioning himself as the leader of the Harambe group. He perfectly threads the line between ironic meme culture and divisive hate-mongering. Through subtitled grunting, the gorilla explains that he is the holy avatar of a religious war, and he needs soldiers for his cause.
I mean, if it's a genius, I feel like it would find a better way to communicate than that.
He
But
lays out
I'm-
the
I'm-
tenets
I'm
of
being
his unique
nitpicking.
blend of fundamentalist Christianity, radical Islam, and prehistoric animism,
Okay.
and directs true disciples
That's some
to
good
a
tech.
Telegram group.
That's some good tech.
He says he can only manifest sporadically, but one day he'll be back to fight alongside them. The gorilla posts his videos around various fringe image boards and extremist forums, then types out a manifesto for gorilla eyes only. Instructions and intel for the gorillas that will come after him. He named himself Alpha because he was the first.
Of course he did.
Now with the sun setting, he
Of
gets
course
to
he
work
did.
on the next phase of his plan. Meanwhile, we've turned my house into a fortress. The windows are boarded up and spike strips line the property. I placed security cameras around the house, and even some across the street, overlooking the vacant lot.
Okay, I forgot. So the gorilla, he's been killing some time by recording all that stuff.
That
So the
could hide
day's
a
probably
gorilla.
getting pretty
Once
low
that's done, we begin to settle in
on
for
the time
night.
here.
Suddenly, a knock at the door. I shout, "No one answer!" But it continues. Hey, someone order pizza? I thought we agreed on no outside food, I say. I thought it could have been the gorilla. Then I realized this was the gorilla.
He's testing.
He was ordering food to my house as a way to test my responses and weigh down my
Testing the
patience.
defenses.
I call the pizza place to explain, but they're furious at me. I don't understand until I get another call. It's my own voice threatening me and saying horrible things about my loved ones.
You know, this is what I would have expected when he was making that the radicalization videos. He would have got a little AI human voice going.
The gorilla
Let's
made
see what
an
he
AI
says.
clone of my voice and was using it to mock me and destroy my reputation. I hear heavy animal breathing on the other end and realize the gorilla is on the line, waiting for a response. I'm at a loss for words. I hear hooting that could be laughter. Then the line goes dead. All the power goes out
It's taunting him.
on the street. My adrenaline surges. All that time spent setting up cameras, wasted. And this
You idiot! You didn't even think about getting a generator? You fool!
means the gorilla is close. This is so much worse than I could possibly imagine. It's 3 in the morning.
I mean, that's good game at that point. It's a freaking gorilla with a human genius IQ. How is he getting out of this one?
We've been at this for hours, and the siege has only just begun. We hear something hitting the house. It's the gorilla throwing rocks. He's testing our defenses, trying to provoke a response. The gorilla always knows exactly where I am, so I'm set up right in the middle of the house, not moving and away from any windows. That's the gorilla's fire bombs. I have Chris drill a peephole in the plywood, but all we can see are flames. I remember now how he boarded up the back door and made for only one possible way into or out of the house.
Uh-oh.
I began to wonder if me and my friends were about to die in a fiery tomb of our own creation.
I mean,
It's getting
probably.
warm in the house, but I can hear fire trucks in the distance. Whatever the gorilla is going to do, it's going to have to do it soon. The gorilla rams the truck through my front door and
Holy.
emerges, covered in burning debris and wielding garden tools from
The debris.
the flaming throwing spears. He goes from room to room, searching and spreading fire. He knows exactly where I am, but I'm somewhere he never saw me go before. I'm above him. We're above, hiding in the attic, and the gorilla doesn't know the way up. Soon, he finds the hatch. He takes his last.
Now, I wonder if that makes it a little less bad. If he doesn't know where you are in 3D space, if he only understands you as like a 2D map, if that's the only place that he knows your location, that's a little less bad.
Spear and starts to push it open. Now Chris knows where he is. He shoots down between the rafters, and the gorilla grunts and slumps to the ground.
Is he dead?
It looks at me with hatred, which fades, replaced with glassy apathy. But there's no time to celebrate. Smoke is getting into the attic now. I can hear firefighters outside, but we're trapped in the attic.
Okay, I feel like he might. He's probably gonna ramp it up, but I think he made the gorilla initially a little underpowered.
one knows.
If I'm being honest.
I grabbed the sawzall I had Chris stash up there earlier that day, and I cut our way to freedom. When I
But grade A storytelling thus far.
emerge from the roof of my burning home, I do
Like
so as a
Jesus.
phoenix. I've been reborn by my first encounter with
I
the
do
gorilla.
so as a
Now,
phoenix.
I'm financially free. The next few days
Wow, I actually forgot about that part. He just made $1 million.
progress quickly. We pack up our surviving belongings into my second vehicle.
I love how the vehicle he's in is super detailed as it can be with this animation and the other cars. That's sick.
A Toyota Tundra, and hit the road. The first-gen Toyota Tundra was Toyota's first full-size truck for the American market, competing against the Ford F-150. It packs the bulletproof 4.7-liter V8 engine.
I could fact check him on this. One of the moderators, they are a big-time Toyota guy. So I don't know, I can't remember if this is the good one or not. I think there's a bad one, and I think there's a good one. Actually, I think this one is the good one.
The same one found in the Land Cruiser and the Lexus LX. The same engine, in fact, that propelled a Tundra over 1 million miles before Toyota bought it back to study. The best part about these trucks is you can buy them for next to nothing on Facebook Marketplace.
Do Tundras really go for that cheap nowadays? Because everyone loves the Tacomas. Those things are good luck getting a Tacoma. I'm personally not a Toyota guy, but big time mod and chat, he's a big Toyota guy.
Mine for $800. But now I've earned my first million, and it's time to purchase my first war wagon.
All right, what would we buy for the first war wagon? We got $1 million. Honestly, it would probably just be, get like one of them toter homes. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a big, you can tow. It's basically like a big rig, but you have a home on the back, and you can have all different sorts of schmutz in there. You can load in some vehicles, all that good stuff. So that's what I would go with. It's pricey, but you got to have something good, and then you can deck it out with everything, all the defensive measures.
The cruel calculus of car safety dictates that the heavier
Let's see what
your
his
car is,
opinion
the safer
is.
it is for you, but the more deadly it is for everyone else. I already survived one vehicle ramming attempt, and I'm certain he'll try again.
Oh yeah.
So in Jacksonville, I buy a Ford
He's going Ford.
F450 with the platinum trim. I have to part with an eye-watering one.
I mean, I believe it. 107 G's, but I think it's a little bit of mismanagement of your funds, brother. You could have gotten off for 107. You could have gotten a lot more for that. And initially, right off the bat, I would not go with that route. Personally, I'm a Chevrolet man. I could not go Ford. But 107 G's for a friggin' dually platinum, brother. The platinum, that's just, now you're just spoiling yourself. I mean, you got $1 million, but
$100,000.
you could have been more optimal with your usage of your loot.
But I think it's worth it. It weighs in at over twice the weight of my Tundra, so it'll be that much more effective in keeping us safe, swaddled inside of our 4-ton kinetic missile. The premium leather interior and massaging seats are just cherry on top. It even has serious
Okay, that is pretty sick, though.
XM
To be
radio,
fair.
which I'm thrilled about. I was always curious what Howard Stern was all about. I drop another 100
He does look like Howard Stern, doesn't he? He looks like Howard Stern and Weird Al Yankovic. More Weird Al than Howard Stern.
racks on a fifth-wheel trailer home. I go to a gun store and arm myself with a rifle, shotgun, and a snub-nosed 357 Magnum, the most.
What do we think of the loadout? I would say the shoddy. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the loadout, if we're being honest.
Practical gorilla stopping caliber. While I wait for my background check to clear, I take a few classes on how to drive the fifth wheel. It's still
You're
November,
drifting
and if
in
I
the
understand the
frickin'-
scenario correctly, I believe we're still safe until the next calendar year. While
Okay, that's a good clarification as well. So it only comes once a year, but on a calendar year. So anytime within the same calendar year. That's actually really nice. So if you get an early spawn one year, that's pretty good. You get like a January or February spawn in one year, then you have the rest of the year not to worry about anything. That's good. But then you could get a late spawn and you're worried all year.
camping at one of Florida's beautiful springs, I outline my plan to Emily. The next time I hear the siren and the gorilla comes for me, I'll just start driving. I'll be heavily armed and traveling alongside 16 tons of truck and trailer. From a physics perspective alone, I'd expect to obliterate whatever vehicle the gorilla could steal. I don't think he'd even be able to catch up. So with our last month of safety, we tore west towards California to wait out the winter. We're enjoying a mild winter in California when the
Now here, this could be a big mistake. What's the tax situation looking like? Is he paying taxes on this $1 million? Because you do not want to be in California if you're paying taxes.
gorilla comes next. We're in camp, so we quickly throw everything into
Next
the trailer
round, round
and
2.
book it to the freeway. I don't stop driving until the 24 hours are up, but it's a small price to pay for $1 million. I keep expecting to see
That's pretty. I mean, yeah, right. You just drive for 24 hours, but the thing is, remember the first gorilla alpha, he planted the seed, and he's trying to make that cult following. So, I don't know. That could be. I think that's where it's going to start to go sideways.
a gorilla around every corner, but it never shows up. The next 6 years are the happiest of my life.
Oh, we're just going to zoom through 6 years. All right.
I break ground on Goblin Mania, a series that will be my magnum opus.
Okay.
It's about a dungeon delving goblin who discovers that his entire world is just a tiny part of something larger than he could ever comprehend. Even better, I now have the stability to start a family. I get married, and soon enough,
You know, a little risky, I would say, but
I'm a father to 2 beautiful girls. We settle down
what's the point of having life if you can't enjoy all of it?
in a home near Los
You could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your family.
Angeles, escaping into the surrounding desert when the gorilla comes. Those days, I have the house staffed with security. The first year with
So wait, so he did 2 years, and now he said 6 years later. So we're 8 years in. He's made $8 million. Hopefully, he's been investing well.
the house, they found the gorilla inside.
Whoa! What? They're just gonna friggin' glaze over. It got in the house.
Going through my desk. They made short work of it. An autopsy revealed nothing special about it. Other than that little hiccup, we didn't see the gorilla for a decade. What could
Damn. Okay, he's got some good security going.
go wrong? Well, back in 2026, when I ditched that second gorilla, it quickly realized it wasn't able to catch up to me. So, once again, it finds its way into town and sets up inside a hapless victim's home,
Uh-oh.
sitting at the computer.
So now this is where it gets real worrisome. When you start freaking mobilizing the internet people, the freaky internet people.
Remember, this is a new gorilla. It shares no memories with the previous one. But it's still an equally ruthless genius, so it knows its predecessor would have started to build a following. He looks around for a gorilla-themed hate group and quickly finds the burgeoning Harambe group. What's more, he finds the instructions and manifesto left behind by Alpha. He quickly memorizes everything Alpha knew and dubs himself Beta. Free from planning an assault on me, he starts researching my activities. Beta builds the manifesto out into a wiki, completely dedicated to ending my life. Once that's done, he needs to secure money. He shoots a video with aspects that ensure its authenticity.
Why do you put what's this fella's name? Why can't I think of his name? Cooper. Oh,
Like
Anderson
having
Cooper.
the day's news play in the background. He
Oh, I see.
explains that he is a real sentient gorilla, and his special cryptocurrency will take everyone to the moon. He also reaches
He said this gorilla was a genius. He is a genius. You wanna get some money together from humans? You just talk about crypto and they start dumping it out.
out to the most zealous members of the Telegram and gives them personal attention.
Yo, yo, yo! Will in the
Agents who
chat.
Keep the wiki
What's up,
updated
brother?
with my personal info. Manage assets.
We're watching what I'm calling potentially the greatest video of 2025. It's about. So here's the question: would you take $1 million a year, but you have to survive a gorilla attack? No, but not just any gorilla, a super genius gorilla with the magnetism of every cult leader that ever exists, the brutalness of every SEAL team, every military outfit, and it spawns 50 miles away from you or 50 kilometers one time a year, and you don't know when it's going to happen. It's at random. So you have time to prepare once you get your money, but we're about halfway through so far, and the guy's been making it. This guy, he's pretty sick. I got to put his name in the title afterwards and put the link in there. 1 million a year for that is a crazy decision, though. For real. And he's going into it now because the gorilla itself is the least of your worries. I feel like it's starting to radicalize other humans against you.
Drop supplies and possibly give their lives for the cause. But for me, it's date night. The year is 2032. I splurged on.
And so he's he's about 20 years in now.
Cut Chemist's candlelight set for two. The blend of Ethiopian jazz and psychedelic rock dirges brought me a sense of great relaxation. Thanks to aggressive investing, my net worth is approaching
See, I had that question too. I was hoping he was investing his money well.
$10 million, which I show off on my phone to my wife. Then I hear the siren. No, not now, I shout. We frantically load the kids into the truck to the concern of our confused nanny. On the way out of the city, traffic.
Oh, good game. If there's a traffic jam, you're done.
Is horrible. It comes to a complete standstill. I hear about a stuck U-Haul on the police scanner, and I start to get suspicious.
Good game.
So I roll back the sunroof on my F-450, and I fly a small drone out to investigate. If it's unrelated, the worst I'll deal with is an FAA fine. The drone confirms what I was afraid of. I see two of the longest U-Hauls positioned sideways, one on its side. Two young men have slashed the tires to impede efforts to clear the wreck. I see a huge, dark figure jump out of one of the trucks and begin to shimmy along the overpass. Get in the trailer, I yell to my wife and kids. I retrieve my shotgun.
Also, the gorilla cannot use guns as part of the rules, which is good. Because I feel like that would be way overpowered.
And a rifle and get out.
But you can use
Something
guns.
bounces off the windshield. A grenade.
A grenade? What the hell? Okay.
Then
explosives. Now that's a different story. I feel like that's real hard to defend against.
The gorilla is upon us. It's like something out of my worst nightmares. The
crossbows? I guess that's not a gun.
Armor and wielding a pair of crossbows. Malice in its eyes, it takes aim and fires. The first bolt flies close enough to my head that I can feel it. The second hits me square in the shoulder. I return fire, but the buckshot only bounces off of the gorilla's armor. As the gorilla readies another grenade, I hit it with my rifle, which I frantically reloaded with the armor-piercing magazine I never thought I'd use. I retrieve my scared family. We look at the wrecked F-450, the premium leather.
That was a close call, and
the smoldering.
I feel like it's only gonna get closer after that.
Car seats. That's where my children were just minutes ago.
You frigged up.
Then the ruined corpse of the gorilla, who seemed to be smiling, even in death. This wasn't an attack that was planned within 24 hours, and the gorilla had human accomplices. So my wife left me, taking the kids.
Damn it. No, I feel for you, bud.
I couldn't blame her. In the end, she came to the same conclusion I did. Nobody would be safe as long as they were close to me.
True.
So, newly divorced, I buy a large property in New Mexico and begin to construct my compound. I buy a Lexus LC to replace the truck. It's lonely.
I gotta say, I'm loving this guy. I absolutely love this guy. He's a phenomenal storyteller. His choice in cars is not great, okay? Mitchell, if I can call you that. Your choice in cars, I don't love it.
At first, but remember, it's the year 2035. Sirius Radio can now produce endless AI-generated shows about my increasingly hollow personal life. I befriend the Albuquerque Gun Club by hosting community events on my property.
Wait,
Next
what was the year?
AI-generated show. I buy a Lexus
how
LC
deep are we in
to
now?
replace the truck. It's lonely at first, but remember, it's the year 2035.
2035? Oh, so it's only been 10 years now. Okay, I kind of misunderstood something you said
Sirius
earlier.
Radio can now produce endless AI-generated shows about my increasingly hollow personal life. I befriend the Albuquerque Gun Club by hosting community events on my property. Next year, they help me defeat the gorilla, who spawned in the middle of nowhere and approached with just a wooden spear. I resume my...
That's the really good thing I was saying earlier. When you know it's going to spawn within a 50-mile radius, it's better to have your eyes on the monster than not know where it's at.
Professional work. Wealthy with gorilla money, I pour enough cash into Goblin Mania to make it an animated indie series that eclipses even the amazing Digital Circus. Bored, I start getting obsessed with buying gold coins. First, I buy Krugerrands, but after learning about their colonial...
I was going to say again, this guy is too sick. He crafted this whole story after reading this question on Reddit. I love it.
history, I started buying gold maple leaves instead. Life on the compound is monotonous, but after each year's gorilla attack, I'm able to see my kids and travel the world. I begin to put some serious resources into my strategy. Remember, the gorilla always spawned exactly 50 kilometers away. The next year, when I hear the familiar siren,
Now he's thinking.
I can trace out the exact radius that it might appear. From my compound, I deploy teams of spotters to the most likely locations. From there, they search the area, using drones with thermal cameras to spot the gorilla. Then, the kill squad moves in. It worked like a charm and only got easier with each passing year, as we learn the ins and outs of the gorilla's decision making. It's almost time for the holidays, where I get to shower my children with expensive gifts, even though I feel like I know their interests less and less with each passing year. But the gorilla still hasn't come. I'm getting cabin fever. My consultants tell
See, now that's what I was worried about as well. If you get an early spawn in the year, great, that's a great year. But you get a late spawn, you get a October, November, December even spawn, no, that's a tough one.
me that the day that the gorilla attacks fall on seems to follow a totally random distribution. Random chance would allow for the gorilla to come this late, so nothing's necessarily wrong. But, in the end, the gorilla didn't come until December 31st.
Oof, that's the worst case scenario. Well, at that point, then you know it's coming that day. But I wonder if the gorilla can pick its spawn day, that's even worse for you.
I missed Christmas. The next year was the same way, and the year after that.
So it can pick
My
its
team
spawn
and I
day.
were operating under the assumption that the gorilla had no ability to choose a date on which it appeared. We were mistaken. The gorilla deliberately picked random dates to appear, in order to make me complacent. From now on, it would be a war of patience and attrition. I wondered what other abilities the gorilla might have been hiding from me. The next year, my family visits me at the compound. The kids have grown so much, I hardly recognize them. My ex-wife doesn't recognize me either, she says. I've changed, devoted myself entirely
Losing a couple of the locks on the head, looks like.
to the hunt. As predicted, the gorilla
Also, I love this shitty animation. I am enjoying it. Because it's actually really good, but it's really bad, you know?
gorilla doesn't come until December 31st. My team chases it down to a small town.
Oh,
where
no, he's getting lured into a trap. I know it. Dude, you don't need to get your eyes on it.
it's put down in the parking lot of the local library.
Oh, no.
I take the Lexus out to confirm the kill, as always. I look at the still body. It doesn't seem so big anymore. Then, I hear the siren.
The
2
back-to-back.
in a day? I shout. No! How? Happy New Year, boss, one of my men
Ooh.
says. It's 12:06.
Now, that's some good tech by the gorilla.
We take a look at a map, and we look at the possible locations where the gorilla could have spawned. The most obvious would be the city center of Albuquerque. We spend the rest of the night combing the streets and listening to the police scanner, but we find no evidence of the gorilla. Perhaps if we were a bit more observant, we would have noticed
Ooh,
one
hiding in plain sight.
more gorilla in the Albuquerque Zoo. The gorilla takes out a stolen phone and checks in with the Harambe group. He's quickly filled in. Counting out his deceased predecessors, he named himself Tao. Throughout the night, he records propaganda and gives specific orders to his terror cells. He needs a certain property destroyed, one belonging to a content creator with a mysterious source of funds. At daybreak, he hides the phone and looks over to the female gorillas with a sleazy chuckle. Time to put on a show.
No. It's going to start reproducing. Oh, no. Then you're going to have an unlimited amount of gorillas each year.
Visitors. Life resumes as normal, well, as normal as it can be. With the gorilla dead on the 1st, I can now spend the rest of the year with my family. I managed to rekindle something with my ex-wife while I'm staying with her in New York. One day, I'm called into the FBI office. They inform
Government's
me of an
getting
attack on
involved?
my compound. My team
Oh, the Harambe group.
was able to evacuate safely, but the house was razed to the ground. The actions of the Harambe group
Oh,
were too
no.
great to ignore. What's more, cryptographic analysis of Alpha, Beta, and Tau's videos convinced them of the reality of the genius gorilla leader. The NSA, contracting Palantir, was able to find some link between me and the frequency.
I don't know why that just made me laugh, but the way you said Palantir and I just love jokes about Palantir for some reason.
Unexplained gorilla attacks that have plagued the country for decades. They play back my AI Howard Stern shows, all about fighting gorillas. Then they explain their drastic plan. When I get home and tell my family what I'm going to do,
The government wants to capture the gorilla and use it.
my ex-wife is furious. It ends any chance of reconciliation. I spend a final weekend with my children, and I leave for the US Navy base, not knowing when I'll see them next.
Can't believe he left his wife again, though. I guess you got to.
I spend much of the following year in international waters, aboard a patrolling ship. I find the accommodations to be unbearably Spartan, but I'm told that they're second only to the captain's quarters. I have a private bathroom, which I'm assured is a rare privilege. So 5 months into my exile at sea, sitting on the head, I hear the siren. I quickly finish up, missing my bidet, and I call the hotline. Suddenly, everyone on board springs into action. The ship groans to a halt. Helicopters with searchlights and thermal cameras take flight. Boats
Ooh, because it's going to spawn in the ocean.
patrolling at a 50-kilometer radius hasten their search pattern. Typically, the odds of an open water rescue are infinitesimal. The cold water guarantees fatal hypothermia in a matter of hours. It's simple thermodynamics. The dense bones and musculature of a gorilla would make it less buoyant than a human, further hurting its odds. When the gorilla is found and brought aboard, it's half drowned and semi-conscious. I sit by its bedside, wondering what can be done to end this nightmare. When the gorilla stirs and gestures for a pen and paper, I'm sent back to my quarters.
What did it say?
They don't let me out until the next day.
What
when
did
the
it
gorilla
say?
is gone. I was told that the gorilla spent the entire rest of its time speaking with the captain through text-to-speech. They sat me down to debrief, and my worst suspicions were confirmed. The US government was extremely interested in utilizing the gorilla as a covert agent, able
That's how terrifying that would be.
to teleport itself in and out of a location in a way that defies physics, therefore maintaining plausible deniability. No one can point fingers when the assassin is a teleporting gorilla.
True.
Tell me its name is Tap.
That would be some serious advancement in technology. It'd be some good tech for the espionage and the world shadow governments.
Now, there's no way I would choose to do this. It's without a doubt another ploy by the gorilla to murder me.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is definitely the gorilla predicting this and manifesting it for sure.
Even if it wasn't, it would mean an end to my civilian life. Now, I had feared cooperation between the government and the gorilla, so years ago I buried my gold maple leaves and my krugerrands. But for the time being, I had to play dumb. I pass a message to my ex-wife about the gold I buried in Central Park. Back at the ruined compound, I collect a few personal effects and get into a leased supercar, the Lexus LFA. I slip the agency goons
What's with this guy in Lexuses? He loves the Lexus.
who are tailing me by simply outspeeding them on the highway. This is the last time I'll ever drive a luxury car, and I want to make the most of it. At the coast, I slip away on the container ship as a fugitive. I shave my thinning forelock to help with the disguise. It never grows back.
No.
While I'm somewhere in the North Atlantic Ocean, I hear the siren. That would be Tau, the gorilla from the past few years, the one that took everything from me. I wait with grim satisfaction and reflect on my narrow escape. The 30-year-old Mitchell who took the deal would never have been able to escape like I did now at 55. I had traded my youthful body for decades of experience in espionage and evasion, and I had traded everyone close to me away for money. What good it did for me. I'm awarded the money after 6 hours. I imagine Tau's final breaths before he slipped under the subarctic water. Maybe at first he thought he was going to be rescued again by the US Navy. I wonder how long he held out hope.
Oh, I forgot. So this is this. So I guess if he doesn't kill it, the same one spawns. That's pretty bad, actually. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't think. Huh. So this Tau had been around for a couple years. He's the one who made it and has probably children that are going to come kill this guy.
But in the end, you can't defeat thermodynamics. The money arrived as gold bullion, stamped with the Goblin Graphics logo. Ah, now that's something I hadn't thought about in decades. I live out my golden years as a fugitive on a remote island in Indonesia, a non-extradition country. I'm positioned near a strong current, so I can all but guarantee the gorilla will be swept out into the Indian Ocean. I discovered that the gorilla wasn't dying of hypothermia like I hoped. The water was too warm. But after 5 consecutive years of receiving the money after 24 hours, it arrived after 22 hours instead.
Oh,
It seems that the gorilla gave up and drowned, choosing to allow its next of kin to endure a lifetime of treading.
Ugh. Drowning that just seems obviously terrible. But like when you actually think about it, horrifying.
Water in its stead. I hear news of unusually intelligent gorillas discovered in the Albuquerque
They're coming.
Zoo. It seems my old enemy Tao had time to sow some seeds, as it were. Oh well, nothing I can do about it now. One year, the gorilla arrived during monsoon season. It washed up on the beach, exhausted and shivering. Now 70, with arthritis in my bones, I shamble down to meet it. Why? I shout. Why? The exhausted gorilla takes a few steps towards me and falls to its knees. It roars plaintively, asking me the same thing. It makes one last desperate charge, and I put it down with my shotgun. Back in America, time continued to pass. Regimes changed, sentiment shifted, and there came an interest to paying reparations to those the country had wronged. Eventually, they got around to me. I came back to America as a hero, and I spent the twilight of my life in a high-security nursing home. I enjoy my games on the golf course, playing with all the
A high security nursing home.
other repatriated geriatrics our country tried to do right by. Once a year, we stay indoors as facility security hunts the gorilla. Autonomous drone swarms hunt it down and deploy ordnance. Later, a grounds crew arrives in a shiny white golf cart, removes the remains, and sods over the crater. The money keeps coming in, although $1 million is a whole lot less than it used to be due to
That's what I was saying. After, I mean, he's an old man now, so it don't matter. But $1 million, that go down about 20 years. That ain't that much.
inflation. I set up an annual grant to foster the next generation of artists. Eventually, dementia takes me.
Oh no!
I stare slack-jawed,
You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't got your brain left or your body,
uncomprehending at the hollow screen as it plays a news broadcast.
what the hell?
It seems crossbreeding with a typical gorilla produced offspring with all the brilliance, but none of the bloodlust of their progenitor.
Okay.
They call themselves the New Men, and they're seen shaking hands with the president, who granted them personhood. When I'm 83, I hear the siren, but it's meaningless to me. I don't alert the staff. The gorilla spawns and infiltrates a nursing home with ease, effortlessly defeating the unprepared guards. Late at night, I stir to consciousness. I hear
We're at the end.
animal breathing and see the gorilla before me. I can't tell if it's real or another dementia-induced hallucination. It picks me up and cradles my frail body in its arms. I never touched the gorilla before, not in all my years. There was tenderness to its touch. Then the pain begins. The staff discover my mangled remains the next morning. My body had been systematically crushed and pulped, with care to keep me alive until the last possible second.
Okay.
There's a faint animal aroma to the room, like something was just there. And then, I opened my eyes, and I was young again.
It was all a dream.
I remembered it was all just a fantasy, some kind of elaborate simulation. There was still so much time left, and so many choices still left to be made. I went into the other room, and I saw Emily, who wasn't even aware of what I just went through. God, how I missed her. And my kids. Well, I suppose they never existed, but I was kind of an absent father, wasn't I? Always busy with that gorilla business and all. But don't you think they should have visited me in that nursing home at least once?
They should have.
Still, I needed something to remember them by, so I went on eBay and I bought a model F450 to put on my shelf. That night on the highway, when we lost the real one, that was where it all went wrong for me. I suppose my mistake was running away from my problems, rather than facing them head on. Maybe I just had to live on an island from the get-go, and never let the gorilla gain influence. Let me know in the comments what you do differently in this scenario. Okay, here's the credits, including my only Patreon member
Wow,
in this video.
folks.
Thank you, executive producer.
Did I oversell it, or was
That's
that?
right. Higher tier Patreon supporters
Let's
get executive producer
finish.
credits here. So give it a shot if you want
He's
to
got the
pad your
Patreon.
IMDb resume. Next month's video is going to be about a famous dwarf who was hidden inside a pie and killed a man in a duel, but at two very different
I've heard about that story. That's actually a true story.
stages in his life.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Holy folks. $255 subscribers. What the hell? Man, did I oversell that, or is that the greatest video of 2026 so far? Man. Or let me pull up his channel. Folks, we got to go. Everyone go to Mitchell Sack. Goblin Graphics. Subscribed. Oh, he's not got that many videos. Wow. What if Minions? Oh my. Folks, we might have to watch this one next time. What if the Minions served Hitler during WW2? I think we got to get an eye on that one next time. It's only a 10-minute. Man, hunted by a gorilla for life. What a great video. Oh. Great. And how did it end? With a parable. Folks, sometimes we focus on the gorilla too much and getting that $1 million every year. But you know what's more important? The people we care about, the things we want to do. And we get caught up sometimes, you know. We get caught up doing the stuff that don't matter. Even though sometimes it feels like it really does matter. I guess with that being said, y'all, we'll shut her down for this evening. That's just really loud. Hopefully not. But thanks so much, everyone who dropped by. Will, thanks for stopping in, saying what's up in chat. That was cool. For anybody who subscribed, we're getting there, slowly but surely. We'll get to 1,000 before we know it, and after that, 10,000, and after that, 10 million. And we ain't gonna stop there. We're just gonna keep on going. And shout out Mitchell Sachs, Goblin Graphics. Go check him out. Get an eye on him. The guy is sick. I'll have him linked down in the description and everything. But yeah, everyone have a great rest of your night. I'm going to be live tomorrow. I think we will be doing some gaming. And then Monday, trivia. Don't forget. But yeah, have a great rest of your night. And thanks so much, as always. Y'all are the best.